Hey everyone, today we're diving into something that's been popping up all over my feed lately, the BWT AQUABOT PRO Cordless Robotic Pool Vacuum. If you've got an in-ground pool, you know how much of a hassle keeping it clean can be. From the constant battle against algae and dirt to the tedious task of manually vacuuming the floor and walls, it's a never-ending chore. So when this thing started getting so much attention, I figured it was worth checking out. Link is in the description if you want to see the details on Amazon. First off, what really stands out about this robot is how it handles the whole cleaning process. Unlike those old-school vacuums that just kind of bump around and miss spots, this one uses 4 ultrasonic radars to map out your pool in real time. It's like having a tiny, underwater GPS guiding it around. I tested it in my own pool, and honestly, it didn't miss a single corner. Even the steps and those tricky waterline areas where algae love to hide got a thorough scrub. The Waterline scrubbing feature is a game-saver, no more scrubbing that gross line by hand every week. I remember when I first got my pool, I used to dread that task every weekend. But with the AQUABOT Pro, it's one less thing to worry about. Another thing that impressed me is how easy it is to control. Most pool vacuums just do their own thing, but this one connects to an app where you can steer it in real time. Need to focus on a specific spot? Just tap the screen and it'll go right there. You can even set up cleaning zones if you've got a larger pool. I used it while I was grilling out on the patio, and it was cool to watch it work without having to babysit it. Plus, the app gives you live updates on its progress, so you know exactly when it's done. I was able to check on it from my phone and see that it was finishing up the last few feet of the pool. It's those little details that make a big difference in the overall user experience. Now, battery life is always a concern with cordless vacuums, but the AQUABOT Pro holds up pretty well. It runs for about 3.5 hours on a single charge, which is enough to cover a pool up to 50 feet long. I've got a 40-foot pool, and it finished cleaning in about 2.5 hours. That leaves plenty of time for it to do a second pass if needed, especially after a big storm or if the pool's been neglected for a while. The charging dock is simple to set up, just plug it in and let it recharge overnight. I've had it for a few weeks now, and I've only had to recharge it a handful of times. It's been a huge time saver, especially on weekends when I'd rather be relaxing by the pool than cleaning it. One of the little details I really appreciate is how quiet it is. A lot of pool vacuums sound like a jet engine underwater, but this one is surprisingly quiet. I could barely hear it while it was working, which is great if you're trying to enjoy a peaceful afternoon by the pool. The design is sleek too, it's not some bulky, ugly machine. It actually looks pretty modern, so it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb when it's docked by the pool. I've had a few friends over since I got it, and they've all commented on how cool it looks. It's definitely a conversation starter. Now, no product is perfect, so let's talk about a couple of things to keep in mind. First, it's a bit on the heavier side when you pull it out of the water. It's not crazy heavy, but it's not feather light either. So if you're not super strong, you might need to use the handle to lift it out. Also, while the app is super handy, it does require a stable Wi-Fi connection to work properly. If your pool area has spotty signal, you might run into some issues steering it remotely. I've had a few instances where the connection dropped, but it was easy to restart and get it going again. I've also been impressed with how well it navigates around obstacles. I've got a few pool toys and floats that I like to leave in the water, and the AQUABOT Pro had no problem avoiding them. It's clear that the designers thought about the everyday use cases and how to make it as seamless as possible. And speaking of everyday use, I've been using it about 2 to 3 times a week, and it's been a game changer for keeping my pool clean. I no longer have to worry about dirt and debris building up, and it's freed up a lot of time for me to enjoy the pool with my family. All in all, though, the BWT AQUABOT Pro is a solid investment if you want to save time and hassle with pool cleaning. You can find the link below if you want to check it out for yourself. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.